Afternoon or good morning to those of you who join us from west of the Eastern Time Zone. I speak to you today on behalf of Ohio Wesleyan University as your president, but I also speak to you today personally as a friend to so many. 14 years ago, I received the opportunity of a lifetime when Mike Long and Kathy Ryan-Smith extended to me the invitation to serve as the 16th president of Ohio Wesleyan. Words will never be adequate to describe the personal value of all that Melissa and I have experienced since this opportunity came our way. We dearly love Ohio Wesleyan. The most significant enrichment of our lives has come through the relationships we've been fortunate to form here. They begin with students, from the students with whom I had lunch on my first day on the job, to the courageous and resilient students who faced down a pandemic to continue their education here. They continue with the faculty and staff with whom I am privileged to work every day. They extend beyond the campus to countless alumni, parents, and friends, including our Board of Trustees. Your support has been unwavering. Your friendship has been enduring. Your passion has inspired me every single day. I would not have traded this opportunity for anything in the world. Yet there always comes a time when it is appropriate to look at what is ahead. Yesterday, I informed the Board of Trustees that next year will be my final year as the president of Ohio Wesleyan, and I will retire from the presidency in the summer of 23. I will have had the good fortune to serve in this role for 15 years, second only to the founding President Thompson in the length of presidential tenure. I am incredibly blessed. Long before I became a university president, a mentor suggested to me that the presidency is like a relay race. You carry the baton for your leg of the race, and then when the time comes, you hand the baton to the next person, step off the track, and quietly cheer from afar. This is the right time for me, and I believe it is the right time for Ohio Wesleyan. But it is important for me to be clear, this is not a farewell moment. I have another full lap to run. And so this afternoon, I will meet with the vice presidents as I do every Monday, and our agenda will not change. We'll work on the distinctive and transformational student experience, discussing the Moving the Needle initiative for student success, pipeline program development for new programs that enrich the student experience and increase enrollment, and how to leverage space allocation for the maximum benefit of our campus. We'll work on our commitment to become a more diverse and inclusive campus where every person has the opportunity for a full experience of belonging. We'll work on new revenue streams that help us achieve financial sustainability through innovation and entrepreneurship. Later today, I will meet with the University Governance Committee of the faculty as I do every Monday. We'll work on the budget and other matters of importance in our system of shared governance. This evening, I'll meet with the Alumni Board. And following that meeting, I'll be thinking about opportunities I have in my remaining time to further engage our loyal and generous donors, to provide philanthropic support to these important initiatives, including continued growth of the OWU Connection and support for our first generation college students. As we move toward commencement, toward welcoming a new class, and toward a new and robust academic year, I will continue to enjoy working with all of our faculty, staff, and students as we have worked the past 14 years to fulfill the mission of this great university. This is not a farewell moment. Rather, I share this news now in order to provide a smooth transition in preparation for the arrival of the 17th president. A presidential search process is a time for the entire institution to take stock of where it stands and to name the opportunities and challenges the future will bring. The Board of Trustees will lead that process, and John Milligan will say more about it in a moment. To me, it is important personally to provide ample time for a full process with a successful outcome. I will support the process in any way possible toward the goal of ensuring that the new president receives the same warm welcome and the same enthusiastic support that greeted me in the summer of 2008. Some of you will be asking, what's next after OWU? It's too early for me to answer that question fully, because what's next for me now is another lap in the relay here at OWU. But I know that in the summer of 2023, Melissa and I will find ourselves closer to our grandchildren and other family with more time to spend with them. We'll look forward to opportunities to travel, and at some point, I'll find other fulfilling work to do. That will be fun for us to think about, but not yet. In my inaugural address in October of 2008, I concluded with these words: today, all of us with responsibility for this institution, trustees, faculty, officers, staff, alumni, students, and friends, all of us stand where those who have gone before us have stood previously. We stand as stewards, entrusted for a time, with responsibility for a treasure. This treasure, made tangible in the buildings on this campus and in the lives of those who live and study here, reflects an even greater and an even less intangible idea. The idea that education makes a difference in the life of an individual, that educated citizens make a difference in the life of the world, and that a liberal education grounded in our practical idealism has a singular opportunity in this age to raise up a new generation of moral leaders for a global society. I believe that today more than ever before. I am grateful that I have the opportunity to stand as a steward, entrusted for a time, with responsibility for this treasure. And I am grateful to be able to continue this work with every ounce of energy I can provide for another year. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your unfailing passion for Ohio Wesleyan and its mission. In closing, I can also say that for me, this also is truer than ever before. It is a great day to be a bishop. Early in my first year at Ohio Wesleyan, I had the opportunity to meet with John and Kathy Milligan. I can still remember the room where we met, the energy of the conversation, and the deep passion they expressed for their alma mater. In the years that have followed, I have been fortunate to work with the Milligans on numerous initiatives, to benefit from their wise counsel, and to experience their leadership, including the ways in which their philanthropy was catalytic in energizing multiple strategic initiatives. I am so grateful that in this moment, John Milligan is the chair of our Board of Trustees. I now turn to John.
Thank you, Rock. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. As Rock said, I am the chair of the Board of Trustees. I'm also a graduate of the class of 1983, as is my wife, Kathy. Our son was from the class of 2015, and we have a long history of Ohio Wesleyan. And it's been our privilege, Kathy and mine, to both serve on the board and to serve with Rock. Rock, I do remember that day that we met you, and it was your energy that brought us back to campus, and it was your energy that allowed us to engage with the university community and to meet all the wonderful alumni, trustees, faculty, and staff. And I think we can all agree that while today is not the celebration of Rock Jones, I think we can all agree that the university is a much, much stronger institution because of your leadership. And I thank you for that. But my job on this call isn't to celebrate Rock Jones. That will be for the future. My job today is to talk about what's next. Of course, today is a sad day, a little bit of a day of mourning as we are losing our beloved president, not immediately, but in the near term, as he goes on to fulfill his life in different ways. But for us, the job of the Board of Trustees is one of stewardship of the university. And one of the most important things that we do is select a president. And so when Rock shared the news a few weeks ago of his intention to announce his retirement, we began to work. And so on Thursday, the executive committee of the board authorized us, a small committee, to begin a search process for the next president of Ohio Wesleyan. I'm pleased to announce that Kara Trott, also class of '83, the former CEO and now chair of Quantum Health in Columbus, will be chairing the search committee on behalf of the board. So I want to thank Kara in advance for her service. We have begun working for a search firm. As you may or may not know, there are groups of individuals who run companies whose sole purpose is helping to attract a talented people for higher education. And so we have begun the process of talking through with various search firms about how such a search should go and which group will help us forward. We're authorized now to select a search firm to help us. We're also in the process of forming a committee. And so I'll give you a little bit of information about that. The committee will be comprised of trustees, faculty, students, and people from the administration. We intend to form a committee of about 15 people, which I think is big enough to represent all our communities, but not too big as to be unwieldy with regard to scheduling, because searching for a president is a lot of work. We will begin a process once the search firm is selected of listening. We will have town hall meetings and listening sessions with the faculty, with the administration, with the students, with the alumni, and with the trustees. And from that, we will build a profile of what the next president of Ohio Wesleyan should be like. What are the skills, talents, and what is the culture aspects that we need for the future community? It's very important that people attend and help us in understanding what's best for Ohio Wesleyan for the future. Once we begin that process, the search firm will help us compile a list of candidates. They have databases that run far and wide, but also they'll be looking for candidates who raise their hand and wish to come in. Today's announcement in some ways is an advertisement that Ohio Wesleyan is searching for a new president and hoping to spark an interest in people coming and running Ohio Wesleyan. The full process to search for a president is a long one. It typically runs about 9 or 10 months. And so we will expect, hopefully sometime around this time next year, to have a new president announced. And it is our hope that we can bring somebody in who can follow in Rock's footsteps. I can tell you, because of the work that Rock has done, because of the work of the faculty, and because of the work of the administration, I think we have a very strong case to make why Ohio Wesleyan is an excellent place for somebody to work. We've renewed the residential campus. Over 70% of our beds are now have been built within the last few years. We have redone the curriculum. So done a full programmatic review, something that's very difficult to do. It's something that the faculty undertook a couple of years ago. In fact, we've also set out new standards for our general education requirements. And importantly, we've strengthened the endowment and put in place such signature programs such as Rock's OU Connection program, which is now fully embedded as part of the curriculum. When candidates look at this, they'll see a very strong institution and one which they can grow from and strengthen further with new strategies for the 21st century, for educating and building moral leaders for their next generation. So Rock, once again, I want to thank you for everything you've done. I look forward to celebrating your many successes over the coming years. You have been a terrific leader. You are one that is going to be missed dearly by every member of the community. So with that, we're going to end this call. Thank you everybody for participating. The Board of Trustees and Kara and her committee will be in touch with you regarding the process that we're going through. And we look forward to meeting with you next month when we're back on campus for the last trustees meeting of this academic year. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye.